Good morning. Welcome everyone to today's webinar event. My name is Joshua. I'm going to be your presenter today, back after a couple of weeks vacation. Good to be back at work here, hard at work on things. Welcome to everyone, to all of you. We're here to talk about accounting, New Year preparation, New Year steps, what have you. Before we get started on our topic, click the little red arrow on the sidebar of your webinar control panel, minimize that control panel, get it out of the way. Particularly important if you've got a single monitor. If you've got a dual monitor setup, just drag it off to the second desktop or minimize it, your choice. We're going to be here together till about 11:50 Eastern time here, or whatever time zone you're in. I'm really going to try to get this in the 20 minutes allotted, or 22 minutes that are allotted for it here. But we do have a lot of material to get through. If you have questions, please type those into the questions portion of the webinar control panel. You'll find that by expanding or clicking the little arrow next to questions. You can either undock that or you can just type in your questions to me. I'll keep my eyes on that and I'll see what I can't do to get those questions answered during the event. And if I can't answer them during the event, then I'll certainly be happy to stick around and get them answered at the end. Please keep the questions on topic, meaning about our New Year preparation for accounting. We'll have other webinars on donations and membership New Year preparation here over the course of the next 6 or 7 weeks between now and the end of the year. We may put off questions onto a support call if it's something specific about your data, but again, I'll do my best to get those questions answered if I can. There is a handout on today's event. So it's the document that'll be on the Support Center page or under the New Year Prep and Help page here. Sometime in the next next few days or so. But if you click on the little arrow next to handouts, you'll see the PDF document that says Accounting New Year Prep.pdf. That is what you can download and print. That is the material that I'm using for the event today. If you're having trouble with that or unable to get that, please either call us or email us. We'll be happy to get that to you. It will be available on our website at some point. So right here, if you're going to our current website, we go to Supporting, Training Resources, and then right down here near the very bottom, you'll see the option that says New Year Prep and Help. Our website is going to be changing. We're updating that sometime here. I don't have any answers as to exactly when that's going to occur, but we will have a New Year Prep and Help page on the new website whenever that's going to occur. I don't know if it's going to be a week or a month from now, but our website is going to be changing. But look for the New Year Prep page on either this one or on the current or on the new website when it's changed. Okay, so just letting you know. Okay, so let's dive in here. So basically, the most important thing to, here we are. We're in 2021, showing our current year is January through December 2021, okay? That is the year, we're working on a calendar year profile. You can, it doesn't matter really what year you're working in. This end of year steps are the same, whether you're on a fiscal or a calendar year, it doesn't matter, okay? But it says the very first thing on that document, it says accounting end of year instructions, opening a new year. In the accounting module of Church Windows, you can begin working in the new year at any time. Let me say that a little more clearly for the folks at the back who may not have heard it. You may open the new accounting year at any time. You do not need to be finished with 2021 in order to open 2022, okay? It's a really important thing to understand is that there's no requirement to be done. We just need to be prepared to open 2022 in the interest of getting our new budget figures in and, maybe cleaning up our chart of accounts and reworking our chart of accounts and what have you, okay? So we can begin doing that now. I mean, I've been working with folks who opened their new accounting year for 2022, 6 weeks ago, back at the end of September, at the beginning of the fourth quarter, knowing that they could do that and not feel rushed when they get to the end of the year, okay? So open that new year, get working in it, get it all set up so when you're actually needing to begin posting in that new year, you can do so easily and effortlessly with as little headache as absolutely possible, okay? So on that, also that same page, So we've also included, we're going to walk through the end of year steps to open the new year here momentarily, but this document also does include some other important end of year information as well that we're going to go through a little bit here before we get into the heart of our topic here. So in the italicized section right here, it talks about before opening a new accounting year, please make sure that all invoices that have already been paid are actually marked as paid. And what that means is, oftentimes what we'll see on support calls is folks will come in here and they'll go, here, pay bills, quick pay, view outstanding bills, and they'll see some items in here. They may have a balance, they may not. But those are basically invoices or bills that are still outstanding, whether those need to be marked as paid or maybe they're duplicate transactions or the payment needs to be posted, but they should be dealt with before, well, I'm going to state in this case where I'm going to disagree with this document a little bit is, yes, they need to be dealt with, but you definitely don't want to close the prior accounting year, in this case 2021, while you still got outstanding 2021 invoices in here in whatever capacity, okay? So yes, we're basically stating that you should address those as quickly as possible, but I don't think it prevents you from opening the new year, since you can work back and forth between the 2 years as needed, okay? But it does detail, and I'm not going to go into this in detail here because we simply don't have time in our webinar today. We do have a document on our website here, so if I go to my supporting page and I go to the support center and I type in the keyword right here, outstanding, if I could spell it right here, folks, sorry about that, and hit enter. It says outstanding bills listed right here. We're going to refer you to this document right here for how to mark those bills as paid, or for dealing with vendors with a balance or payments with an outstanding balance on those. Again, we don't have time to cover that today. But again, it's just a very important thing that folks don't call us with support and we have to deal with on support calls later. So make sure to deal with any outstanding bills that are listed here. If they're really truly outstanding into 2022, great. But if they're not and they should be dealt with in 2021, you want to deal with those. Call us if you have questions or problems with that, okay? Let's go ahead and move on to page 2 of this document and talk about the rest of this here with about 12 or 13 minutes left here. On page 2 at the top, it's, make a backup of your data. Folks, this is so important. You've got to protect your data, okay? Church Windows doesn't back itself up. If you're in the cloud, certainly your cloud hosting company will make backups, but we still encourage even cloud users to make regular backups of the databases of their data. It's your data, but it's as simple, folks, as going into administration here, backup, make a backup of your data, put it onto a flash drive, get it out of Church Windows, but basically this would give us a restore point to go back to if we weren't ready to open the new year yet and we wanted to go back to that point in time. So make a backup of your data before running the new year prep steps or opening the new accounting year, okay? So let's jump back into accounting again. The backup function is very simple and straightforward. Hopefully you're doing that regularly now, but if you're not and you require assistance with that, please don't hesitate to contact our support techs. We're certainly happy and happily willing to do that with you. And we're always happy to see users back up the data, folks. It's your data. You got to protect it. And we would like to help folks do that, okay? Step 2, create the new accounting year. This is kind of the nuts and bolts about opening the new accounting year. So we're going to go right up here to special functions at the top. And then right below that, manage years here. We see that there, the menu. It opens up and there's a whole lot of stuff here under manage years. We're going to do a webinar next week on the manage years list here. But what we're really here to do right here is this second one that says set up new accounting year, okay? Click on that. If you're on the current version, it's going to pop up with this question that says, are you sure you want to set up the new accounting year? And we absolutely want to do that. We're going to click yes. Now it opens up our set up new accounting year, and by default, it wants to set up the new accounting year for January through December 2022. Does allow us to choose an option to set up an earlier accounting year if you wish, if you want to go back and enter data retroactively. But we're here to open up 2022. Also, by default, it assumes you want to copy your current chart of accounts from 2021 into 2022. which we will do, and it will want to naturally copy your budget amounts forward as well, okay? So the thing to keep in mind about your budgets is I recommend copying the budget amounts. I think we do in general, because here's why. If all of your budgets change, then perhaps it might be useful for you to not check that box and to enter a budget for all your accounts from scratch. But if only some of your budgets change, like some of the amounts from 2021 are going to be the same for 2022, you've saved yourself some work, so even if I copy the budget amounts forward, I can always change them. I can edit them. I can uncheck the accounts. I can change anything I want about the budgets. But if some budgets don't change, it'll save me some work and some effort, okay? But for some reason, and this does happen, if you want to establish a line in time and your chart of accounts is just unsalvageable from, say, 2021 and earlier, and you wish to start over and set up a brand new chart of accounts, you may certainly do that by choosing the Create Empty Chart of Accounts if you wish. But if that's something that you really think you might need to do, you might want to contact us through support and talk with one of our support techs, myself, somebody else, Carolyn or somebody included, and see if we've got some insight on that. Maybe we've got some help or some things we can do to help maybe salvage where you are, but you can certainly start over and enter a brand new chart of accounts if you wish. For the purpose of our webinar today, we're not going to do that. We're going to do the copy chart of accounts and copy our budget amounts, okay? But if I change it down to that, notice it says use account numbers, ask me what my account number structure wants to be, and I do that, and it basically opens up my chart, it allows me to set up a brand new chart of accounts. But we're going to go back to copy and the budget amounts, okay? Note in the middle of page 2 there, it talks about it is very important to update the beginning balances in the new year if you go back and make changes to the old year, okay? One of the most common support problems that we deal with in the new year, okay? But I'm going to come back to that momentarily. So we're going to get the new year open, so we're going to simply click OK here. So it now does its little gyrations here, and it now shows that our opening home screen for accounting, January through December 2022, okay? So now my new year's open. I can now work in there, edit my budget amounts. I can go up here to budgets and budget and change those. I can use my budget projection if I want. I can work back and forth between 2021 and 22 at will, but 2022 now exists. So what it's talking about under updating beginning balances, if I go back to special functions, manage years, while in my 2022 year, and I go right here and I choose this fourth option down that says update beginning balances from prior accounting year ending balances. What that's going to do is it's going to bring forward my balances that are current as of November 9th, 2021 into the beginning balances for 2022. But as those change over the course of the upcoming months, weeks and months, I can update those beginning balances as many times as I want. Okay, so I don't have any issue with doing that right now. So it says, yep, I wanted to update 22 from 2021, say yes. Now my balance sheet totals between the end of the 2 years match exactly, as they should. But again, updating those beginning balances is what allows you to to work between the two accounting years as long as you need or want. You can update the new year beginning balances as many times as you need or want. Okay, really important. Okay. We've now opened the new year. Let's move on to the next topic here down there, page 3, closing an accounting year, special functions, manage years. We've got a close accounting year function, okay? It's a hard close for an accounting year. One, this is optional. It's not required by the software. It's there if you need it, but it can be done at any time, okay? But once you close a year, folks, it cannot be reopened. It's closed, okay? So once that's closed, there's no function in the software that allows you to reopen an accounting year. If you need to close an accounting year, what we recommend is definitely don't close it prematurely or too early, okay? Again, not required by the software. There are folks that work in accounting and never close any accounting year, but if you do, make a backup before you do it and make sure that you don't do it too early or too soon, okay? But it asks you what year you want to close, and it says close accounting year, and it pops up and says, warning, you will not be able to add, change accounts. It asks us what year do we want to close. I can choose any of them that I want. but I'm not going to do that, okay, because once it's closed, it's closed. All right, let's move on to page, at the bottom of page 3 and into page, or into page, bottom of 2 into page 3, budgets. So when we want to work with the budgets, we go up to budgets up here and budget. Here's our budget window. Any accounts that have check marks in this budgeted box in the budget column, excuse me folks, little cricket there in my throat. So right here, this budgeted box, this column is the budgeted. So when an account is not checked for budgeted, it is not a budgeted account. When it is checked for budgeted, it is a budgeted account. So right here, general ties and offerings. Over here, we notice, you know, we've got monthly budgets selected. We've gone in and keyed those in. But let's say I want to put in, say, loose offering income for a budget for 2022. Nothing available here on the right. I put a check mark in there. I can choose, say, annual. I can go, okay, we're going to anticipate $1,500 of loose offering income in 2022. Only allows us to enter full whole dollar amounts, no cents. I simply click on annual and notice it does attempt to distribute it across both quarterly and monthly. Or I can choose monthly or quarterly or monthly and key in those amounts as needed. Okay? Very simple. We've got a video out on the website on entering the budget, working with the budget as well. Not going to really spend much more time on it than that. If you've been working with Church Windows accounting for 1 year, you can use this budget projection function. Here, basically, it warns you of exclusive access, but it allows you to actually have the software populate the new year's budgets based on a percentage of the prior year's budget amounts or actual, whatever you wish. And you can always go back and reset them by setting them back to the 0% of last year's or 100% of last year's budget amount if you want to reset those. Again, we're not going to really get into that, but you can have the software project some figures or budget amounts for you, okay? So right here, if I wanted to do my income, is going to be increasing by 2% of last year's actual, and my expense budget is going to increase due to increased inflation this year, by 5% of last year's budget amount. I can do view projection, and notice here, right here, it does change those projected budget amounts right here on the right, okay? We're not going to save and close that. We're not going to save that, so we're just going to do cancel and close. But frankly, folks, I think the budget projection is probably one of the most underutilized features in the software. So certainly something that might be worthwhile looking at for you. When we want to go back into 2021, we go simply up to Special Functions, Manage Years, choose Change to another existing accounting year. Here it's choosing 2021 from the menu. Simply click OK, and I'm back into 2021 again. Okay? That's how easy it is. Again, you don't have to be finished in order to work between the 2 years. Okay? Let's go through the updating of the beginning balances function again. I want to change back into 2022. Now that I'm in the new year, I would simply go up to Special Functions, Manage Years, choose Update Beginning Balances from prior accounting year ending balances, verify it is updating 2022 from 2021, click Yes. Boom, it says the beginning balances were updated successfully. I've now brought forward those amended balances or any new balance changes from the end of the prior year. Again, can do that as many times as you need or want. In fact, it's more problematic if you don't update those beginning balances, okay? Bank reconciliations will be off, and balance sheet will be off. There's all kinds of problems that'll stem from that. So make sure you're updating those beginning balances. If you update them and they're already updated, it's not going to change anything. So you could do it if you're unsure, or you can check the balance sheets between the 2 years and check those to see if they're updated, okay? Finally, on page there, I'm sorry this is going to go a minute or two long, folks, here. Just please bear with me, or if this is being recorded, you're going to be able to revisit this video later. But we go up to changing our chart of accounts. We can go right here into Manage Accounts into our chart of accounts. I can change account numbers and account names right here at the Chart of Accounts window. I can also go to my, say, Tree View tab here on the right. I can right-click over any account and choose Edit, and it allows me to edit the account name or number or the subtotal where it goes, where it belongs, or where it's sitting on reports. Or finally, if I need to make broad sweeping changes to my chart of accounts, it might be best for me to go up to Special Functions right here at the top and go to Change Account Number Structure. where it opens, again, warns me of exclusive access, and it allows me to renumber my chart of accounts en masse in one screen. Account number before renumbering, account number after renumbering. I literally can just click in here and change these account numbers. Change these account numbers right here and save them if I want to make changes. Can't change my account names here. I can only change my account numbers. If you really want to change your account number structure, meaning how many digits and placeholders you have, you would have to go to this Change Structure button right up here in the upper right corner, Change Structure, and that will allow you to either increase or decrease the amount of digits in your actual account numbers themselves, okay? Again, it's there if you need it, but hopefully you won't need it. But literally you can just click in the account numbers here and just change them and save it when you're done, okay? Finally, check your balance sheet, folks, between the end of one year and the beginning balance column for the new year to make sure that those beginning balances are brought forward properly from the end of the prior year. It's a very important step. And again, folks, I'm just going to restate it one more time. Please call us if you have questions or problems with any of this. I say with complete contentedness that half of my job is hand holding. If you need me to hold your hand while you walk through this, I am happy to do that, okay? I've been doing this almost 20 years, and so me and my other techs have a good deal of experience with this, and we are happy to do it. We want you to do it right. That is where we're going to wrap things up for the day.